3DO.
From across the ocean and around the globe, bringing the latest news home to you. War! The Tan war machine has begun to mobilize in their quest for world domination. Here we see the tyrannical Tan commander as he vows to capture and destroy all green territories and claim them for his own. In response, our forces have been dispatched to hold our borders secure. To the northern mountains, and the western desert, and as far as the southern swamps, our boys stand ready to resist the Tan invasion. Invasion! Tan forces have crossed our border, and the green response has been swift and dramatic. But things are heating up. These dramatic shots depict the intensity and fury of this contest. Combat cameramen have risked their lives bringing you these shots of our boys pushing the Tan scourge back. With the dawn come our aircraft, bringing paratroopers to reinforce the green counterstrike. Today the battle is ours. Tomorrow is up to you.
Let me begin by saying this had to be the most hype shit to hear after coming home from school. I was more excited to see this dull loading screen than celebrating my own birthday.
Sarge, you've broken through the eastern line. Head across the bridge into town. Proceed to the Tan Munitions Depot in Sector B2 and await further orders. HQ out.
The instructions for this game came on so quick I didn't even know who I am and where I was. All I knew was I was Sarge, and everyone was plastic. At this moment I realized this game was fun. Very fun. I didn't even take into account that this was a strategy game. This note is alluding to the fact that there's some sort of secret weapon being used, but my 10-year-old brain just didn't even care. I would just go over to this part of the map that you really weren't even supposed to be near, and I would just join the battle. I wanted to be part of the battle with my soldiers in green.
Sarge is dead.
Who knew tanks would be such an overpowered thing in war? Honestly, I had no idea. This is just unfair. Just being serious here for a second, this game was incredibly fun for how simple it was. It took every time I was playing with my army guys when I was a little kid and brought those battles to life.
Send me a recon, over.
Except for every time there was enemy tanks in this game. You never wanted to see them. And you never knew how to deal with them right off the bat. Especially with airstrikes, it's like, why even bother? At least you had your mortars though. These things were honestly great. But you never wanted to hear this whistling sound when you didn't know where the enemy was. Oh yeah, there's one of those keys I saw on that piece of paper I barely paid attention to. Now back to blowing shit up, but for strategic purposes this time. There are way too many tanks on this map, and you had to block them all off at any point you could. Plus, moves like this were just satisfying. This had to be one of the most heart-pounding moments in the entire game. I was holding my breath the entire time these guys took their very sweet time loading this truck up with plastic from this bank. When in reality it wasn't that hard. All you had to do was block off a few entrances and place some mines around. It was the biggest relief to see this half-track make its way back. I kid you not, this level took me a few months. And I'll just let this level speak for itself for a bit. The amount of tanks they have to rely on to make this harder, it was ridiculous, but I loved it.
Sarge.
Here's your plastic. Give me the information.
I love how these guys commit robbery by making you risk your life for plastic to give to them, and all they hand you is a piece of paper saying, go to a different country, basically.
Ah, that'll take the sting. Can't carry that.
Seeing this very slow-moving still image of a helicopter was almost surreal. I thought this entire game was actually going to be taking place in this desert.
We have soldiers pinned down in Sector B1.
Jeez, this guy won't let me relax and take in the new sights. I've been stuck in a desert for the last year and a half of my life. I'm still shaking the sand out of my boots. Actually getting to see the use of paratroop drops was pretty weird. There was no use of any of these guys in every one of the desert levels. So it was really cool to see these guys drop in from above.
Now get these guys back to the med tent.
Using my men in battle was pretty hard to watch sometimes. They didn't equip them with anything other than their rifle. Like, why not give these guys a couple bazookas or some grenades or flamethrowers? They're just gonna keep getting their limbs blown off.
Ah, that'll take the sting off it. Ah, that'll take the sting off it.
Sarge, without the truck, their plans are delayed.
Giving me a break from the action from time to time felt pretty good too. Actually being able to just sit back and plan out your moves felt pretty fun. A train, you say? Well, that's going to be pretty hard to deal with. Alright guys, you got this. They didn't give me paratroopers for nothing. You guys are green soldiers. You're here to protect your country. You're here to do whatever it is that this is. Alright, well, completely squad wiped. Looks like it's up to me.
Outstanding work, Sarge. You have the key. HQ out.
Whoa, where did all you guys come from? This must be our home headquarters or something, because I haven't seen so many of you in one place. There must be a huge battle coming up, and I'm going to be a part of this. This is going to be awesome.
A flamethrower.
Alright guys, let's go kick some tan butt. Come on, let's do this. In reality, you're supposed to come down here and commit vandalism on this part of this bridge. Roll up on these guys minding their own business in their log cabin and smoke them like they owe you money. Take the time to burn down their half-track because fuck them. Vandalize the other part of this bridge and realize that you probably wouldn't have guessed in 1,000 years that this is how you were supposed to solve this problem. Endanger your life and the lives of 3 other men in your oddly exploding half-track, just so you can squeeze some information out of a guy's last dying breath. This was totally worth the lives of every person here though, trust me. Alright, at this point you get that your men are not very reliable. I'll just let the rest of this level speak for itself.
Yes, sir! Outstanding, Sarge. Please wait for your next orders. Good job. HQ out.
Alright, next level.
This is Sarge.
What's it got in store for us?
Recon.
Let's see.
Over.
Well, that's okay, right? We have airstrikes.
This is Sarge.
This is nothing.
I need an airstrike. Over.
Oh, intruder!
Uh-oh. This level was a little tricky. It was a timed event. There were soldiers of yours inside these cabins that were going to be executed one by one in a timely fashion. So you could go loud if you wanted to, or you could sneak. I personally just went loud. Because if you waited way too long and there was only one guy left that you could save and he died, it was still over. Now all you gotta do is mop up the rest of these forces with some orders that you've saved up. And you're relatively safe to proceed. Now just stand next to this outhouse and wait for your extraction to the next area, and damn, did it feel good getting out of this place.
Sarge, good work. However, we have received word that the final piece of the key is currently in the bayou near the southern front. Prepare for travel and reassignment.
Now this is where the men got separated from the boys, and in my case I got separated from the game because I quit multiple times. There was no shortage of bazooka men, flamethrowers, and mortar men here, whatsoever, but it was cool to see the gray men actually taking the fight with you. On the other hand, this was a very common reoccurrence.
Sarge is dead. Sarge is dead. Sarge is dead.
Frustration aside, you could still check out some funny crap like this happening.
Recon.
Dude just vaporized himself with his own booby trap.
Outstanding. You got the document, Sarge. Good job. HQ out.
This is Sarge. Requesting paratroop drop. Send me a paratroop drop. Over.
That's fine. I still got some remaining backup, don't I?
Sarge is dead.
Anyways, grab the piece of paper and leave, and on to the next one.
That'll take the sting off it. I need to find
It mainly consisted of meandering around and dying until you found this guy.
Don't kill me! I'll tell you everything you need to know. Our base in Sector F6 is protected by 2 gun towers, and the outer fence is surrounded by mines.
Thanks for the info, bud. Then you take your last piece of the key and on to the next one.
some grenades.
Out of the entire game, these guys are perfect. I don't know why. They have the most flawless defense here.
Sarge, I see it'll take more than a few ground troops to pry you out of there. First-rate defense. Good job. HQ out. Outstanding, Sarge. Be advised that we have received notice of a tan tank platoon patrolling the roads.
Sounds a lot harder than it is. They most of the time just glitch into each other like this. After beating all the tanks, you meet this old man over at his mansion and you Uber him out of the area. Hopefully your own guys don't kill him in the process.
Green, defend.
Affirmative.
And it's smooth sailing from here to the end of the game. Roughly smooth sailing. You just have to maneuver your way through this urban area quick before you can get through to the last part of the game. be honest, I wasn't expecting an undead showdown in a graveyard to be the ending to this game.
Sergeant!
I think I stumbled upon the way out of this area by complete chance. Who knew you had to just blow up a pirate statue to get out of here?
Ah, that'll take the sting off it.
And just like that, with a little more pushing and a few more dudes to get through, you're at the end of this game. It's weird thinking back, but this game took me 2 years to beat. Actually more than 2 years. Even seeing the very end of this game had me in awe. I did not know what I was looking at. I get a feeling of nostalgia every time I see the portal sitting there unactivated. And then when I activate it, I get a feeling of sadness kinda, knowing that this one-of-a-kind game was finally at an end. Until Army Men 2, that is. Thanks for watching.